Sam and Lisa met on a sunny day at Riverside Park, where the trees danced gently in the wind. Sam was friendly and easygoing, always wearing a bright smile that lit up his face. He cherished laughter and found joy in the little things, like birds singing or children playing. His love for life drew people to him. Meanwhile, Lisa was creative and thoughtful. She had a gift for painting that allowed her to express emotions that words could not capture. She saw beauty in the world around her, like the vibrant colors of a sunset or the serene stillness of a lake. In the beginning, Sam and Lisa were two eager hearts, exploring the sweet unknown together. Their first conversation was at a coffee stand near the park, where she painted the lively scene unfolding around them. He was fascinated by how passionately she spoke, her eyes brightening as she explained her next project. Sam admired Lisa's talent, while Lisa adored his kind nature and ability to make her feel special. They spent their days exploring art exhibits and eating at cozy cafes. As they created happy memories, their emotional bond grew stronger, making each moment shared feel timeless. Yet, beneath the joy of early love, some storms were brewing. Sam sometimes struggled to share his feelings openly. His playful spirit often kept him from expressing deeper worries. Lisa, on the other hand, was sensitive, feeling hurt when Sam held back. Despite their sparkle, both faced trials in communication, which could someday test the strong foundation they were building. With time, they would need to find the words to address their fears and desires. Their journey together promised adventures, joy, and perhaps even the challenges that would only deepen their love if they embraced them. As the weeks turned into months, the bright bond between Sam and Lisa began to feel the weight of life's realities. Amid the laughter and shared dreams, Lisa found herself drifting into a shadow of doubt. There were moments when Sam seemed distant, caught up in his thoughts. The soft glow of love that had once filled their time together flickered uneasily, leaving her feeling lost and alone. One evening, they sat together on the couch, watching their favorite movie. Despite the familiar comfort, Lisa sensed something deeper was wrong. Sam smiled, but his laughter felt empty. When she spoke, he often replied with vague nods. Lisa's heart sank with each passing moment as her own worries grew louder. She wished she could reach across the gap forming between them, but she was unsure how to voice her feelings. "Sam," Lisa said, trying to gently pull him back into their warm space. "Are you okay? You seem a little far away tonight." Sam turned his head, his brow furrowing slightly. "I'm fine," he replied swiftly, forcing a smile. "Just tired from work." Lisa heard the words but felt his mood linger. She wanted to believe him, yet a voice inside whispered doubts. Even small moments, like his distracted gaze out the window, made her feel as if she was talking to a wall. She could feel the chill growing, even if he didn't seem to recognize it. In the days that followed, Lisa noticed more subtle signs. Sam often checked his phone while they were out together, his attention divided. Where once he would have shared his day or asked about hers, now there was a wall of silence enveloping them both. This distance weighed on her heart, prompting Lisa to feel frustration mixed with sadness. Why didn't he share his thoughts? What was causing this shift? Lisa decided it was time to talk more openly. That weekend, she suggested they take a walk in Riverside Park, the place where their story began. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a golden hue over the park. As they strolled along the familiar pathway, Lisa gathered her courage and gently squeezed Sam's hand. "Sam, I've been feeling a bit off lately. I sense something different between us. Are we okay?" Sam hesitated, looking away for a moment. He took a deep breath before answering. "Yeah, I guess. I'm just busy with work and stress, you know." Lisa's brow knitted in concern. "I get that, but it feels like you're not here with me. I miss talking to you like we used to." The tension began to rise, hitting both of their hearts. Lisa desperately wanted to connect, but her words landed heavy in the space between them. Sam, feeling cornered, struggled to pull his thoughts together. "It's not personal, Lisa," he replied, a hint of defensiveness creeping into his tone. "I'm just trying to handle things." Lisa felt hurt at his reaction. "I'm not trying to blame you. I just want us to be together in this." Unspoken frustrations danced in the air, leaving them both with unresolved feelings. They stood in the park, surrounded by the beauty of a sunset, yet beneath it lay uncertainty. As the cool evening breeze kissed their faces, they felt the distance grow ever so slightly wider, pushing them into a state of mixed emotions. They cared for one another deeply, but this layer of misunderstanding created a gap that both had to navigate to find their way back to each other. As the days continued to stretch on, the air between Sam and Lisa felt thick with unspoken tension. An unexpected source of strain appeared when Lisa started a new painting project for an upcoming local art show. She poured countless hours into her work, eager to express herself and showcase her talent. However, as she grew more absorbed in her art, Sam started to feel the old familiar sense of distance creeping back in. One evening, while Lisa was lost in her work, Sam sat quietly on the couch, watching her. He genuinely admired her talent, but deep inside, he felt a twinge of jealousy. The vibrant colors splashed on canvas captivated Lisa's attention, and Sam found himself feeling sidelined. He wanted to support her, yet the more she focused on her painting, the more he questioned whether she still valued their time together. Why did she seem so much happier when she was painting than when she was with him? Each brushstroke felt like a reminder of their growing divide. As the art show approached, Lisa became even more excited while she worked late hours to finish her piece. One night, when Sam suggested they take a walk together, Lisa waved him off. "I'm really close to finishing, Sam. Can we please wait until after the show?" His heart sank at her response. Sam felt a mix of disappointment and resentment bubbling inside him. "It's just a walk," he shrugged, trying to keep his voice steady. But the hurt in his eyes betrayed his calmness. "It feels like you don't want to spend time with me anymore." Lisa paused, surprised by the weight of his words. "That's not true. I'm just focused on this painting. I thought you wanted to support me." Frustration ignited between them as conflicting emotions clashed. Sam crossed his arms tightly. "I do. But I can't help feeling pushed aside, like I'm not important anymore." Words hung in the air like clouds before a storm. Lisa opened her mouth to respond, then closed it, unsure how to soothe the hurt she heard in his voice. Instead of fostering understanding, they drifted further into silence. In the following days, Sam withdrew a bit more, spending hours scrolling through his phone or watching TV alone. He became more restless and distant. Each time Lisa glanced at him, she felt a pang of worry deep in her chest. He was there, yet a part of him seemed to be fading away. Lisa sensed the difference but was torn. She needed to focus on her art to feel fulfilled, yet she craved connection just as strongly. It was like walking a tightrope, not wanting to disappoint Sam while also not wanting to abandon her dreams. As the art show loomed closer, she began to feel panic rise within her. Meanwhile, Sam tried to suppress his feelings, convincing himself that Lisa's painting was just a temporary phase. Yet the tension was smoldering like embers, waiting for a spark to ignite it fully. Each day brought a new layer of uncertainty, making their connection feel ever more fragile. Even when they shared a meal or exchanged words, a sense of unease colored every interaction. Instead of asking her about it or sharing his own feelings of insecurity, he silently struggled. This misunderstanding turned into a deepening wedge between them, causing Sam to feel alone, even when Lisa was just a room away. Both partners stood on the edge, needing to talk but finding themselves at a loss for how to bridge that widening gap. The kind and loving feelings that had once blossomed between them were now tangled with feelings of doubt and fear, waiting for a moment to break free and heal. The night of the art show arrived, a much-anticipated event for Lisa. Her painting adorned the gallery wall, and friends from the community gathered to admire her work. Excitement thrummed in the air, but for Sam, the evening felt heavy with tension. Although he stood beside Lisa, his heart was a whirlwind of emotions. He tried to support her, but he couldn't shake off the feelings of jealousy and loneliness that clouded his mind. As guests marveled at Lisa's art, Sam watched with mixed emotions. Lisa's face glowed with happiness, and each compliment she received brightened her spirit even more. But with each praise, Sam felt swallowed by unsaid words. The mounting frustration surged within him like a rising tide. At that moment, he lost sight of the celebrating crowd and felt only the gnawing sensation of abandonment. After the last guests left, Sam could contain himself no longer. "You were amazing tonight, Lisa," he said, his voice lacking warmth. "But have you even thought about how I felt standing alone while everyone admired you?" Lisa turned from her easel, catching the sharp edge of his words. "What do you mean?" she asked, hurt reflected in her eyes. "I invited you to come and support me because you are important to me, but it felt like everyone else mattered more than I did," Sam fired back, his voice louder than intended. "You never even looked back at me. You were too busy living this perfect moment." Lisa's face flushed with anger. "You're painting this to be about you and not me. I've worked so hard, Sam, and it shouldn't always revolve around you." "Always about me," he shouted, frustration spiraling dangerously. "Do you even hear what you're saying? You haven't noticed how I've been feeling. Every time I try to connect, you're lost in your own world." The heat of their argument settled in the room, their voices rising as raw emotions filled the space. Lisa crossed her arms, her heart pounding. "I can't be responsible for your feelings, Sam. I'm finally realizing my dream. Why can't you be happy for me?" "How can I be happy for you when I feel like I've lost you?" he lashed out, regret creeping into the back of his mind. "It's like my priorities don't even matter in your life anymore." With every shouted word, the distance grew. Lisa masks tears with anger. "Maybe if you put in some effort to understand me instead of blaming me for your feelings, we could have a real conversation." Their words hung in the air like a storm cloud, heavy and unrelenting. Both partners felt waves of anger and sorrow crashing over them. Sam's heart raced as the last words echoed between them, feeling less suffocated, stuck in a whirlwind of confusion. This wasn't what either of them wanted. Uncertainty painted their futures darker with every moment of silence that followed their explosive exchange. Though the argument was full of raw emotions and unveiled grievances, neither found resolution that passionate night. They stood in the remnants of what had been an inspiring evening, each struggling with their own hurt, unable to bridge the growing chasm between them. Their hearts ached under the weight of unfulfilled needs and misunderstandings, leaving them lost in their shared confusion. Realizing the depth of their emotions, both faced a pivotal moment that would determine the very essence of their connection moving forward. After the intense argument, both Sam and Lisa retreated to their own corners of the room, the heavy air wrapping around them like a thick fog. Sam sank onto the small couch, burying his head in his hands. The pain of their words echoed in his mind, the sharpness of his frustration leaving deep cuts. What had gone wrong? He wandered through his thoughts, replaying every moment of the night, every exchange as if it were a slow-motion movie. Needing clarity, he reached for his phone and dialed his best friend, Ryan. He needed someone to help him sort through the mix of anger and sadness swarming inside. As the phone rang, even the sound felt like bitter echoes of his confusion. Finally, Ryan answered. "Sam, what's going on?" Ryan's voice broke through the fog, pulling Sam back to reality. "I had a fight with Lisa tonight. It was bad," he admitted, pausing as the weight of those words settled within him. "I feel like I'm losing her." "Can you tell me what happened?" Ryan asked gently. Sam shared the details hesitantly, recalling Lisa's joy and his own feelings of neglect. As he poured out his heart, he realized something. Sam started to see that while Lisa's art was a reflection of her passions, his feelings of insecurity had become his own fixation. He urgently needed to support her instead of feeling abandoned. "I just wanted her to notice that I'm here, you know? I wanted her to see me too," he confessed, the quiet sadness creeping into his voice. Ryan responded thoughtfully. "Have you thought about telling her how you feel instead of just pushing her away? She might not even realize what you're feeling." Sam hesitated, the clarity of the moment dawning on him. Instead of letting his fears control his reactions, he should reach out to Lisa with understanding. The idea felt daunting, yet it lingered in his heart. Faced with the thought of drifting further from Lisa, he couldn't ignore the truth any longer. If they didn't work through this, they might truly lose something beautiful. Meanwhile, in the other room, Lisa sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the swirling colors of her almost finished painting. The brush lay still in her hand as tears formed in her eyes. She had dedicated so much time and energy to this project, but in that moment, she couldn't shake off the harsh words exchanged with Sam. She grabbed her journal, yearning to release the weight of her heartache onto the pages. Lisa began to write, her emotions flowing as she recounted the tense moments leading up to their fight. "Why can't he understand how hard I've worked?" she wrote, biting her lip to stop from crying. Yet another thought struck her, a harder truth. Had she focused so much on her art that she had unwittingly pushed Sam aside? Deep down, she realized that beneath the criticisms, there was truth to what Sam said. They both had become consumed by their own worlds. As she wrote, Lisa considered what truly mattered to her, the love that they shared. "I need to talk to him," she scribbled with urgency across the page. The fear of losing Sam gnawed at her spirit. This moment of insight shifted her frustrations into a deep understanding of their relationship's fragility. Both Sam and Lisa emerged from their separate moments of reflection with newfound clarity. They each realized that the pain of misunderstanding could either heal them or create an unbridgeable gap. The thought of living without one another became real. As they began to understand their emotional needs, the way forward felt uncertain yet hopeful. They were on the edge of a new beginning, one that would require vulnerability and courage to travel together. The next morning had an unusual quietness. The morning sun streamed into the room, illuminating the tension that still lingered between Sam and Lisa. Each of them sat in separate spaces of the apartment, thoughts racing wildly in their minds, but weary hearts shared a single longing for connection. As the silence stretched, Sam knew he had reached a breaking point. He couldn't let this division define their relationship. Taking a deep breath, he stood up and walked to Lisa's door, gently knocking. "Hey, can we talk?" he asked softly, his voice steady but filled with a tremor of hope. From inside, Lisa hesitated for a moment. In the quiet, she gathered her courage, then replied, "Yes, I'd like that." The way her heart raced showed her desire to resolve things, too. When she opened the door, the soft morning light filled the space, reflecting the potential for a fresh start. Sam stepped inside her room, and as their eyes met, something shifted. There were still echoes of raw emotions in the air, but alongside them flickered hints of understanding. "I've been thinking a lot about our fight," Sam began, his voice filled with sincerity. "I'm sorry for how I reacted. I let my frustrations drown out my love for you. You deserved more support when you were so happy." Lisa's heart felt heavy yet relieved at his words. "I'm sorry too, Sam. I didn't realize how my focus on my art affected you. I've been so wrapped up in my own excitement that I pushed you away. I love you, and I want to fix this." With a mix of remorse and gratitude, they both exhaled, knowing these words were only the beginning. They reflected on what they learned from their separate moments of reflection. It became clear that communication was essential. They talked about the importance of really listening to each other's feelings without judgment. Soon after, Lisa remembered a book she had read about effective communication in relationships. "Maybe we could read this together," she suggested hopefully. "It talks about how to better express our emotions." "Great idea," Sam replied, feeling a spark of encouragement. "We could set aside some time to read and discuss it, maybe even try some exercises together." With their decisions made, a newfound connection began to build. Their hearts felt lighter now that they opened the gate to honest communication instead of holding tightly onto pride or frustration. Monday was the day they agreed to start their first discussion together. Their commitment to making things better gave them both strength. That evening, they picked up the book and sat together on the couch, flipping through it eagerly. With each page, laughter and intrigue mixed with deeper conversations. Both Sam and Lisa began to see their misunderstandings in new light, learning to value each other's emotions. As they discussed their thoughts, it felt like old wounds were finally healing. The barriers that had separated them seemed to fade in the warmth of their dialogue. They found different ways to express feelings, learning the art of listening and validating each other's needs. That moment became a turning point, planting seeds for a healthier connection built on support and empathy. "Yes, I feel like we can do better," Sam encouraged Lisa, a smile growing on his face. Lisa nodded enthusiastically, understanding that their love was worth fighting for. They both began to believe that their relationship could grow and blossom again, stronger than before. In that moment, they could finally see the light moving forward, envisioning a path together filled with understanding and love. In the following weeks, Sam and Lisa began to build a new rhythm in their relationship. Each day grew into a journey of discovery as they worked together on their communication skills. They made a promise to check in with each other every evening, setting aside time to talk about their feelings and be open about what was happening in their lives. At first, this new routine felt a bit clumsy. During one of their evening talks, Lisa started to share her thoughts about her art. "I'm really nervous about the show," she admitted, biting her lower lip. "I want my painting to be perfect, but I'm worried people will not understand it." Sam remembered how he once dealt with similar feelings before important moments in his life. "I know what you mean, but you have to remember that the art is yours," he suggested. "It should speak to you first." Yet, right in the middle of their conversation, Sam caught himself feeling impatient when Lisa delved deeply into her thoughts, wanting to speed things along to avoid what seemed like endless cycles of doubt. He stopped short, grounding himself. "I'm sorry if I seem distracted," he said, allowing vulnerability takes over. "I care about what you're saying, I just need to train myself to listen more patiently." With gentle encouragement, Lisa appreciated him sharing the struggle. "Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. I want to work through those feelings together." "Let's practice being open," she replied, feeling their bond strengthen as they navigated these awkward but honest moments. On some days, when words slipped easily, the couple engaged in light-hearted banter that brought laughter back to their home. Sam played his guitar, and Lisa painted, letting creativity flow through their shared spaces. These moments reminded them of how they enjoyed each other's company during that wonderful early stage of their relationship. However, change did not always come easily. Old habits sometimes re-emerged, like the little wave of annoyance Sam felt when Lisa fell back into her habit of hyper-focusing on her artwork for hours. After one of those late nights painting, he approached her. "Lisa," he began cautiously, "I don't want to interrupt you, but can we plan to take breaks together sometimes? I miss those little moments with you, too." In that moment, Lisa felt a pinch of habit-induced guilt. "You're right, Sam. It's hard for me not to get lost in my work, but I appreciate your patience and support. I'll try to put aside some time to step back with you, too. I need your connection as much as you need mine." Each willingness to communicate in these little ways became an act of love that slowly transformed their hearts. Instead of letting misunderstandings swell, they shared their emotions openly. Whether telling a silly joke or hugging after sharing tough feelings, they began to wrap their lives around each other instead of living in separate worlds. There were still challenges ahead as they worked towards deeper levels of intimacy. Sometimes, Lisa would reveal her deepest insecurities while painting, and Sam would remind her gently, "You are stronger than you think." Other times, the two would sit together reflecting on the ideas in their book about love and communication, laughing at exercises that felt funny or awkward. In these moments of reflection, Sam and Lisa learned that imperfections would be part of their journey. They embraced the idea that vulnerability was the key to unlocking the deeper layers of their love. Although they had a long way to go, there was now a shared sense of hope. Every effort to communicate and connect brought them closer, reinforcing that their relationship was not just worth fighting for, it was alive and growing anew. One beautiful Saturday afternoon, Sam and Lisa decided to take a walk in Riverside Park, the very place where their journey began. Leaves danced in the wind, painting the pathway with shades of orange and gold. As they strolled, a sense of calm washed over them, like the sun warming their faces. This familiar setting felt like the perfect backdrop for deeper connections. They walked side by side, occasionally brushing against each other. After some light conversation about their week, the comfortable silence opened the door to something deeper. Lisa paused and turned to Sam, her eyes reflecting the gentle light. "I really love being here with you," she said softly, feeling the warmth growing between them. "I missed our walks where it feels safe to share." Sam smiled, relieved to hear those words. "Me too, Lisa. I've realized that spending time with you, away from everything else, helps me understand how important our connection is." The sincerity in his voice filled the space around them, creating an atmosphere of trust. As Sam spoke, something shifted in the air, and they ventured into a private conversation that bubbled with raw honesty. "You know, I often think about how our fights helped us grow," he admitted, scratching the back of his head. "I used to see conflicts as moments leading us apart. But now, I see them as lessons. They teach us what we need from each other. Lisa nodded, feeling the walls around her heart loosen even more. Absolutely. Going through that storm together made me realize how vulnerable we can be with one another. Knowing that we can express our fears without judgment makes me feel safe. In that moment of vulnerability, they both began to understand how far they had come since their big argument. Sam reached for Lisa's hand, feeling his heartbeat quicken as their fingers intertwined. I promise to always listen and support you, he affirmed. And if I start feeling anxious, I will try to talk about it instead of withdrawing. Lisa smiled warmly, squeezing his hand gently. That means a lot to me, Sam. And I promise to make time for us to share, even on my busiest days. I want your support, too. As they continued their journey through the park, they began recalling joyful memories from their early days together, funny moments from their first dates and little adventures they had shared. Each laugh felt like a piece of their former closeness returning, revitalizing their bond. They stumbled upon a cozy coffee stand, and Lisa suggested they grab a drink and sit. Sitting across from each other with steaming cups in hand, their conversation flowed naturally, enough that Sam could sense a magic returning to their connection. The warmth of each other's presence faded fears of slipping back into silence. Remember when we painted and laughed until we couldn't breathe? Lisa asked, a delight sparkling in her eyes. I miss those silly moments. Let's create those moments again, Sam replied with renewed enthusiasm. Perhaps we can set aside time each week for something fun together, like art nights or exploring new places. As they exchanged ideas, the atmosphere transformed into one filled with promise. They laughed, talked, and built lightness back into their lives, a simple moment of connectivity reinforcing the lessons learned in their journey. Now more than ever, Sam and Lisa realized how differently they saw their relationship. It was clear that they were stronger together, and every challenge faced had only served to deepen their love. There was a sense of safety, a shared shelter where both partners could be open, and every smile exchanged reinforced their unity. The journey ahead felt hopeful, embracing the changes they had fought so hard to create. As they walked hand in hand, they knew that together they could face anything life threw their way. As autumn painted the world in its vibrant colors, Sam and Lisa found themselves standing at a new crossroads. Their relationship had blossomed, transforming through challenges and misunderstandings. With each hurdle they faced together, they had learned to embrace vulnerability, fostering a deep sense of connection that had now come to define their love. One sunny Saturday morning, they decided to revisit Riverside Park, where their relationship had begun to deepen and grow. This time, the park felt different, charged with renewed energy, laughter, and shared secrets. As they walked hand in hand, Sam took a moment to reflect on how much they had both evolved. A sense of calm settled over his heart, filling him with gratitude. It's amazing how far we've come, isn't it? Sam remarked, glancing sideways at Lisa. We've learned so much from the tough times. I genuinely feel closer to you than ever before. Lisa's eyes sparkled with joy, and her smile illuminated her face. I feel that too, Sam. All the work we put in has truly made a difference. I love how we can talk openly now about what we need. I didn't realize how quiet I had been before. As they continued walking, Lisa suddenly stopped, a thoughtful expression on her face. You remember the painting you mentioned in the early days? You said it represented our journey together? Yes, Sam replied, recalling the vibrant colors and images that had been swirling in her mind. I still remember you describing it. Let's do that painting together, she exclaimed, infectious excitement bubbling in her voice. We can blend our styles and create something that symbolizes our growth. It would be a reminder of what we've built and how strong we are as a team. That idea resonated deeply with Sam, and a smile spread across his face. I love that. We should plan a weekend at home just for our art. We could even invite friends over and make it a fun event. Even with the excitement dancing between them, Lisa paused and became serious. I want to make sure we don't forget the lessons we've learned. No matter how busy life gets, we need to keep that check-in time, right? Absolutely, Sam replied, feeling the depth of their commitment to one another. It's important to keep the lines of communication open. We're a team now, and it feels good to be on this journey together. As they stood in the park, surrounded by the splendor of nature, a gentle breeze ruffled the leaves, whispering to them about new beginnings. They turned to face each other, hearts full of sincerity. "I love you," Lisa proclaimed, her eyes shining with authenticity. "And I'm so thankful for you." "I love you too, Lisa," Sam responded, pulling her into an embrace. "I'm excited about our future, and I promise to cherish our moments together every day." As he held her close, he felt the uncertainty from before melt away completely, leaving behind only warmth and possibility. In that heartfelt embrace, they recognized the profound growth they had achieved, both as individuals and as a couple. The struggles were now transformed into stepping stones, guiding them toward a brighter future. They learned to lean on one another and rely on love to nurture their dreams together. As they resumed their walk, hand in hand under the vibrant autumn sky, hope fluttered around them like leaves dancing in the wind. Their hearts felt open to exploring new horizons, ready to embrace whatever life had in store. They held tight to love and optimism, knowing that their journey together would continue to unfold in beautiful, unexpected ways.